I've completely drawn a blank on what I'm supposed to say. I had all the words in my head before we started walking down here, and then that old man glared at me, and then I forgot everything. Not that I necessarily feel super uncomfortable, he just like erased the words from my mind like a witch. Hey guys, you're back with Ben. Man, am I excited for today. It's about a year and a half coming. I hope it's good. If you checked out our last video on Spreewald, the UNESCO recognized canal village paradise of Brandenburg, then you'll know exactly where I still am, and that's Lübbenau. It's the largest town within Spreewald, and it's only about an hour's ride from Berlin. You could take one of many trains that just go directly past here, no changing or anything. Most people making the trip down here are simply just for the canals, hence my other video, obviously. But today, I want to highlight something far less historical and culturally enriching, but nonetheless, an insane amount of fun. Spreeweltenbad, a local water park and sauna complex that lets you swim with penguins. Obviously, it's not going to be open for a few more hours. It is incredibly early. Why did you make me get up this early? No worries though, we're going to go grab some breakfast, walk around the lovely town, maybe shoot some footage in case we don't get to later, and then I'll meet you at the Penguin Water Park. We've got plenty of coffee shops, we've got plenty of cafes and restaurants. The views are really brilliant and there's tons of cobblestone everywhere, which makes shooting this really hard because when cars go over it, they're so loud. Never mind that. The architecture of the town is also really interesting. Emanating from the town square itself, you have a strange mix of buildings. We've got the classic like red brick industrial building. You can see some of those behind me. Then we've got like the classic pastel painted, almost like cemented, smooth looking buildings. And then you also have, and I don't know if I'm near one right now, English style exposed exterior wooden beam buildings. So you've got them all mixed together. It's really, really cool. Needless to say, I think regardless of which attraction you're here for, perhaps even both, it's worth spending some time in Lübbenau. If anything, just for some cafe cooking. All right, check in with you later. Alright, we've made it to the Penguin Water Park, though perhaps we should have shown up a little earlier as this line is not short. But honestly, I just didn't expect it to be busy. They have a helpful occupancy ticket outside letting you know how many spots there are left, so I suppose maybe they're pretty busy often, so my tip for you is to get here early. For the uninitiated, Germans are all about wellness, baths and saunas. This one here is split into two sections, the water park and then the wellness complex. The wellness zone is all about comfort and relaxation, with 14 saunas, each having their own theme. We're talking lemons to gherkins. No filming is allowed though, as in typical German fashion, no swimsuits are allowed if you catch my drift. The water park though is what we're here to show you, so let's just go see it. It has a few slides and a series of heated pools, one section with a wave generator, another with jets, and then the main event, a canal that lets you swim straight outside to see the adjoining penguin enclosures. Swimming next to the penguin tanks as they play is pretty well entertaining, heating up after their twice daily feeding and preening schedule, culminating in a fast-paced game of keep away with their adorable orange ball. Let's just have a watch, shall we? And then after that, I'll join you in the conclusion. Can you believe it's getting dark outside already? Like, we showed up at 10:20. I only opened at 10, so I was right there at opening, and it is already dark. Though, to be fair, it's getting closer to fall, so it's like only 5 o'clock. Still, that's more hours than I care to admit I spent at a penguin-themed water park. But for now, guys, I've got a train to catch because I've got one more video to shoot down in Dresden, but I'll tell you more all about that when I see you in the conclusion.
Hey everybody, we're back in Munich. We just got back from Lübbenau. In fact, our second day where we went to Spreeweltenbad, or as Ben kept saying in the video, the Penguin Water Park. So this is really Ben's idea. He was very, very excited to do this. So I'll let him talk about it first.
Sure. So I've been wanting to go here for, nigh on over a year at this point. You see, while we were doing our initial tour around Germany, figuring out where we wanted to live, we took a break from Berlin in Lübbenau so that we could do the Spreewald canals and see all that and just kind of get a bit of a respite from such a busy trip. While we were there was a bunch of marketing all over the town talking about that new Penguin Water Park. And I was just flabbergasted. I thought it was awesome. So I marched us down there so you could go check it out, and it was closed. Which, I mean, I was just gutted. It was terrible. And so when I realized that we were gonna finally go back and do a video on that area, I wasn't going to miss out again. I was gonna go and we were gonna enjoy it, and we did. And I'll tell you why. You see, as much as I like traveling around for like the history and the culture and that authenticity, which is what we're trying to go for on this channel, I do kind of have a soft spot for novelty. I mean, that's cards on the table. But there is kind of a problem with that though, right? When you're traveling for novelty, sometimes that's all you get. It can come off really one note. It's a penguin water park, there are penguins, and then everything else sucks and the food's expensive and it's terrible. So I was a little bit worried. However, rest assured, this place is quality through and through. It's fantastic. The food was really, really good. The penguin enclosures were nice and big. There were multiple and they were connected so the penguins could go really fast. I mean, those penguins seemed really happy. I've seen sadder penguins at zoos. It was really cool. And then you've got the indoor-outdoor heated pool. That was really fun. And then for the adults out there, you've got kind of the whole sauna complex, which is banned to children, so it's really nice and quiet. And in there, they've got 14 different saunas, each one themed with different humidities, temperatures, infusions. I mean, they had a gherkin one. I mean, it was really cool. The whole thing, they seemed like they did a really good renovation and they cared about what they were doing. That's just my thought anyway. So I had a fantastic day, would go again. But what about you? You were more skeptical, so maybe people should believe your opinion a bit more.
Yeah, initially I really wasn't that interested in going. I thought it was going to be like what you described, where it was just going to be one note. They were going to do some penguins, but maybe it would smell, it would be overpriced, the food would be bad, it would just be a negative experience. I was very skeptical that it was just this sort of tourist trap, but I was actually surprised. I had a lot of fun swimming with the penguins. The rest of the sauna and water park complex was really fun too. The water park was cool. Like you said, the diversity of saunas and the aesthetics and the quality was really, really positive. So I would actually rate it quite highly, like you would. The only thing that I would say to be aware that we didn't really focus on in the videos is this is a good walk from the train station. It's about a mile. And it's not in the sort of very beautiful historic part. It's on the other side of the train tracks along a very sort of busy, unaesthetic road. So it's not really catered to tourists who are coming to Lübbenau for that like traditional Lübbenau experience. But there were a lot of tourists from other parts of Germany here. So it is something that I think is worth going to if you're in the area. But just be aware of that.
Right, and I think it kind of elevates the trip into kind of a weekend instead of a day trip, because you can go get your arm workout on the canals, and then the next day just kind of relax in the pools, do the sauna, get a massage, get yourself back, get ready to go for the rest of your trip. So I think it's fantastic. Yeah? I think that pretty much says all there is to say. I think you know if you're the kind of person that would really enjoy it. I think it's going to be very polarizing in that way. But yeah, please hit us up in the comments if you've got any questions. I know it was a bit of a weird one this time. And other than that, make sure that you subscribe, follow us on Instagram so you can see what videos are coming out next. And yeah, see you in the next video.